Hello and welcome, bookworms. Welcome to this week's episode of The Contented Narrative. We're looking at Supria by Kasha Khan. Now, I came across this book because I was doing a course through my work and we were chatting about self, what do you do to look after yourself? So there's mental health first aid courses. Like, what do you do to sort of like switch off to make yourself feel better? And one of the people there turned around and went, "Oh, I write books." And I was like, "Oh my God, okay. I run a channel. I would love to read your book. Tell me all about it." And so he gave me the sort of the lowdown of what it was, and I went away and I bought the first book. So it is a trilogy. But honestly, I mean, it was good. I did enjoy it. So it's set in sort of like ancient times in India. And it's known as Ida, the place where it is, the second Eden. And it was ruled by a good Maharaja. But basically what happens is he realises that his three kids aren't as grown up as they should be, and that they're going to take over the ruling of Ida. But in actuality, they're a little bit frivolous. So he then goes, right, he falls asleep and he goes, right, okay, what am I going to do? Like, how can I get this sorted? And an ancient sort of like being comes to him. There's a lot of words I can't pronounce in this, but you know what it's like, especially with like fantasy books as well. Sometimes like you read a word, and then when you try and say it out loud, it's actually nothing like how it's supposed to be said. Key example is Erised, arise. I kept reading it as arise in the Harry Potter books, but it's Erised, which is desire backwards. So anyway, so he gets this vision going, send your kids to this monk. And he's going to help put them on the path that they need to be. So he sends these kids into this ancient forest that nobody goes in without protection of these big beings. And something happens and all three of the kids end up going in separate directions. So one gets knocked out and gets taken in by somebody. One has a broken leg and gets kidnapped and taken somewhere else. Another one goes into the running water, gets knocked out, loses her memory. So we follow the first sister, Supria, the first sibling, Supria. So it goes Chandra, Supria, Bim. And we pick up with her when she's on her way to this temple to talk to the monk, the keeper of the book, to find out her destiny. And she stumbles upon this tribe and they basically help her start to recover her memory so she can remember who she is. And as she's journeying along to this temple with Pooja, her second in command, and she then runs into Bim, who she then slowly realises is her brother. And then it's sort of like building up from there. Now, I never spoil endings of books and I will not start now. Obviously, it is a trilogy. So the ending of this book is set up for the next book in the series and so on. So obviously, when you read it, it's not a standalone book. So just bear that in mind, that when you do read it, there is a chance you're going to have to read the second and the third one if you want to know what happens to these characters. And for the most part, I really did enjoy the characters. I will say, from the bottom of my heart, Pooja, who is like Supriya's second person, and again, apologise, Kasha, if I'm not pronouncing any of these names right, but she did my head in. I'm sorry, she really did. And the funny thing is like, I get the reluctant hero and like, you know, but she was just so miserable at times. And it was like, she wanted to go on this journey. She wanted to see beyond her little village. And then at times I'm sat there going, so why are you so miserable? Why is it when Supriya's being like, we have to do this, we have to do that? Like, it genuinely, she was pissing me off. I'm going to be completely honest. And so at times she did take me out of the story a little bit. But as it's building up and as it's coming into sort of like the trilogy, you can see kind of where it's heading. And it's a really interesting piece of literature, and I really enjoyed reading it. And I do think I am probably going to buy the next two in the series. Obviously, not quite as soon as I bought this first one, because I do have like 40 odd books in my to read pile. But I do think that although it is a little bit simplistically written, I like the way the characters are going. I like the setting. I like, there's chapters where you see the big sort of like celestial beings discussing the outcomes and stuff like that. And it's very reminiscent of when you read like ancient Greek and they're going on about, they're having these big conversations and being like, should we meddle? Should we not meddle? Like, do we even care about these people? And it was really interesting to kind of get that part of it. So I would say, obviously, give it a go. So you can buy it on Amazon. Obviously, I always include the link to the books in my YouTube description anyway. But I would say definitely give it a go. It was very interesting. I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy the main characters. Again, I am so sorry, but Pooja, she did piss me off at times. But again, I won't say how it ends, but it does set it up perfectly for the second book. So obviously, thank you so much, guys, for your continued support with this channel. I do this just so you guys can have ideas of what to read next. But if you have any ideas of what I can read next, please, honestly, let me know below in the comments, and I will definitely add it to my list and try and get round to it. But thank you so much. And remember to always keep it contento.